Welcome to Live at the Barn Season 2. In today's episode, it's the High Waters Band. It's a great mix of classic rock and original music. Be sure to put your hip waders on and enjoy.
Rumors going around that Texas town. That shack outside the grain of dark. Let me know you wanna go to that home out on the grain of nice guys. Yeah! That's what I said. Keep her going, brother. She lives across town. She's the one that really is down when she boogie. She does a Tuesday boogie. Boogie, baby, boogie, boogie all night long. Now I've got a girl, she lives on the block. She's kind of funky with the pink and white socks when she boogie. She does a Tuesday boogie. left you at the border when I crossed it. Now had your number, but I lost it. Know your love just a bit on play, yeah. But you came out of wool over me, 'cause I'm a confidence man. Well, I can't talk old ladies out all of the money. I can talk young girls into calling me honey. Talk all you want, I've got fast hands, yeah. But you can't run the wool over me, 'cause I'm a confidence man. Well, I told your mother how to bake a cherry pie to read a book. Knew your father how to take a line or to get drunk. Kinda caught a con, you better watch, 'cause you're liable to get burned up. Yeah! Well, stays on the floor, it's elastic now. Just too tight, you know it snaps like plastic. Pieces flying all across the bed, yeah. But not discouraging word to be heard, 'cause I'm a confidence man. Well, maybe Boston is where you're bound, but your cheap perfume is still hanging around. Roll the dice, honey, let the bet hit stays, yeah. But you can't roll the wool over me, 'cause I'm a confidence man. Oh, you know you can't roll the wool over me, 'cause I'm a confidence man. Oh, you know you can't roll the wool over me, 'cause I'm a confidence man, yeah.
My name's Michael Kidd, and I'm the lead singer and guitar player for the High Waters Band. We've been together for, I've been doing this for about 30 years, but I think the High Waters Band for maybe 20. Well, Kent is probably the longest member. We played together when we were 20 for a few years, and took maybe a 20-year hiatus, I think. He's been back for maybe 10 years, I think, kind of thing. But he's certainly been an old friend since high school days, and he keeps me straight. He's the only straight person in the band. I always say the drummer always says they're the smartest, right? I will agree with that. Jeremy James, or Jeremy Daignault, he's the lead guitar player and singer, and Jeremy's been with us, I think, maybe 6 or 7 years, maybe 7 years, I'm going to say at least. But certainly we have a good feel together, and he's had more of a blues background. We also do some acoustic shows together and things like that. So I think I'm more of a straight ahead rock guy, and Jeremy's a little more of a blues guy, and good combination. And Mike MacCurdy is on bass. Mike is, he played with us for about 2 or 3 years, took a 5-year break, and he's just got back with us before COVID times. So he did maybe half a dozen or a dozen shows before that all struck. So nice to have him back. He's certainly well versed on bass and guitar, and has his own show as well. So everybody's got their own talent, it seems like, and I'm just very lucky to be with everybody.
This one's called Beautiful Day. Working all week and just got my pay. And crappy weather, that's what they say. just finished up, I got my job all done. I'm thinking now it's time for some fun, you know. Forecast has changed, the rain is done. It's gonna clear by noon, making a way for sun. Working all day through clouds and gray, but you have no fear, it's gonna clear, making way for sunshine and a beautiful day. How about we cut out early and we call it a day? I can make some calls and see what's up. We'll swing on by with my pickup truck, and I'll bring some steaks and I've got some grass, you know. I'll bring some ice and let's stop for gas, you know. I got a friend that has got a new boat. Maybe we can throw it in the river and see if it flows in the sunshine and a beautiful day. Working all day through clouds and gray, but you have no fear, it's gonna clear, making way for the sunshine and a beautiful day. How about we get some beers and go out to the bay? And let's play! Shorts on, I get off the street. I lose my shoes, get some sand on my feet. You know, I know some girls that can be so much fun. They look so hot when they're dancing in the sun, on the sunshine and a beautiful day. We're talking sunshine and a beautiful, 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 beautiful day. It's like today. Beautiful day.
Well, live music is certainly the key addiction portion, I think, where I think I might have had an ex-wife that said I have an unsatiable desire for attention. Maybe every musician does in some ways if they're doing a live thing. That feedback and the interaction between the crowd is priceless. I mean, that's as high as it can be right there. I just love it that anybody wants to watch my music that I've created over these years, and certainly takes back that someone says, hey, can you play this song? I think I've heard many people say, can you play that whiskey song, the whiskey tune? We're going to play it tonight. It's called Drinkin' Whiskey. But it's always a joy when someone asks about something that we created ourselves.
This one's called Drinkin' Whiskey. Always gets you in a little trouble, that stuff does. Take a double. Well, I walked into her at the bar, not expecting to get very far. She turned and looked at me with a smile, and I thought, maybe I'll stick around for a while. Well, I tipped my hat, I said hello. How it gets so bold, I don't know. She perfect 10, if you know what I mean. But I was drinking whiskey at the bar and what went on that I can't remember that far. Well, I charmed her heart and invited her back to the little love shack. I sang her a song from my heart, and that was all gonna start. Well, the morning I woke with the birds chirping, and who she was I was not certain. I took one look at her behind, I thought I must be losing my mind. But I was drinking whiskey at the bar, and what went on when I can't remember that far. Too many cries, and all you boys have been doing the same. Remember, the whiskey can't take all of the blame. And I was whiskey at the bar, and what went on when I can't remember that far. Yeah. This is Mississippi Tide. I hope you enjoy. We're the High Waters Band. See you out there, but you can't come in. I always lose this game, and you win. You live on dreams, you live on life. You're raging waters now, fight for my life. 3 weeks of rain, the sky is dark. Swollen rivers have met their mark. I should have known, but cannot be that smart now. It's too late to build our ark. It will rain all night and rain all day. Million dreams will be washed away. All I owned I left behind, washed away by the Mississippi tide. Daddy's farm and the business too don't look like the insurance will do. All is lost, but this car we drive should be happy just to be alive. It will rain all night and rain all day. Million dreams will be washed away. All I owned I left behind, washed away by that Mississippi tide. Cattle just washed away when those walls finally did give way. H2O consumed our farms, but you can't take the will out of these two arms. It will rain all night and rain all day. Million dreams will be washed away. washed away by the Mississippi tide. It's a rating. This one's a great little tune I always think about. My friends way up on Pencil Lake, drinking, getting into all kinds of trouble, sitting around the campfire. Not everybody's around now. I wish they were. It takes too long until the weekend, but I guess I made it this time. We'll pack a bag and head north now. We'll drink a few and feel fine, feel fine. We're throwing shoes at the cottage with a few good friends. It's such a beautiful day here. I hope it never ends, never ends. The firelight's dancing on the walls tonight. Don't need nothing more to make us feel alright. Well, some are gone and some are lost out of sight. Well, I want to thank you all for being here tonight, tonight. We're telling stories round the campfire. They better now or then. And Andy's drunken misbehavior, it makes it hard to contend. And Tracy's passing around the shooters, and maybe I'll give one a whirl. I can't get too out of shape now. Be heading to bed with my girl, my girl. The firelight's dancing on the walls tonight. Don't need nothing more to make us feel alright. Well, some are gone and some are lost out of sight. Well, thank you all for being here tonight, tonight. The firelight's dancing on the walls tonight. Don't need nothing more to make us feel alright. Well, some are gone and some are lost out of sight. Well, thank you all for being here tonight, tonight. Thank you all.
Well, I certainly, some of the ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner, some of those type of rockers are certainly what I grew up with. You know, all the old gems of Supertramp and Bob Seger and all those older tunes of that era certainly still stick with me. We play and do songs from all kind of years, but boy, there's lots of gems to work with back then, and it almost seems like music's just being done over and over with a little different twist to it. So it's always nice to look back to those original years before too much fancy electronics and whatnot was added to it. Just the raw music.
Sure enough.
Well, I went to the zoo just the other week. Saw the kangaroo and I talked to the chimpanzee. He said their brother, he want that thing that's hit to the back hat, yeah. Woo! Back hat, that's the name of this song. To the back hat, you listen and you can't go wrong. To the back hat, that's what we like. To the back hat, yeah. There's enough to make you want to leave your home. The cat sound you just can't leave alone. And I don't want to be a cat of your own. Ow, the back hat. Late at night when the back hat howls. He's looking for you. Ow, the back hat, yeah. It's enough to make you want to leave your home. The kind of sound you just can't leave alone. Enough to want to be a cat of your own and make you go. Ow, the back hat. To the back hat. Put your hands on your hip and do the backbone slip to the back hat. Now it's the end of the song. To the back hat, yeah. Woo! To the back hat, yeah. To the back hat, keep it up now. To the back hat, yeah.
I'm going to say we've shut down right for maybe 3 months. We thought we had a few summer gigs going that would have been trailer parks and things like that, but most of them canceled as it got a little closer. So we did start jamming and did a lot of campfire acoustic stuff. So we've done a lot of playing, but not really the traditional song list or whatnot. I'm going to say in the last month we've done a couple gigs. They've all been a little goofy, behind plastic, and the crowd's not allowed to dance. That's an awkward show, a little disconnect there. And we did another one outside that was, again, kind of a space, game as well. So certainly don't see things too bright for the next little while. But Andy, thanks for putting, the effort forward and giving, a little exposure to everyone. And certainly thinking, forward, hey, why don't we all just get it and get it over with? I don't know.
Blue second bleeds under sky, all smoky blue-gray. I can't forsake this Dixie dead shake as we dance for a deal. He said, hey, no, you sound, shut your big mouth. You gotta do what you feel is real. Ain't got no picture postcards, ain't got no souvenirs. My baby, she don't know me when I'm thinking about those years. Pale as a light bulb, hanging on a wire, sucking up to someone just to stoke the fire. Playing out the highlights of the scenery. I saw a little cloud look a little like me. I had my hands in the river, my feet back up on the banks. Looked up to the Lord above and said, hey man, thanks. Sometimes I feel so good I've got to scream. She said, Gordy baby, I know exactly what you mean. She said, I swear to God, she said, you know. I said, no, my memory is muddy once this river that I've been. New Orleans is sinking, man, and I don't want to swim. Swim. Lie to me, tell me everything is alright. Oh, lie to me, tell me that you stay here tonight. Tell me that you will never leave, and I was trying to make believe everything you're telling me must be true. Oh, lie to me. Go ahead and lie to me. Oh, lie to me. Go ahead and lie to me. Yeah. Oh, lie to me. pretend love will never end. Lie to me. Go ahead and lie to me. Oh, lie to me. Go ahead and lie to me. It's all lies.
Well, yeah, we've done a couple, 2 CDs, and maybe ready to do a third one for what it's worth. I always say it's just nice having a recording of of what we've done over the years. Not that I'm expecting people to want to listen to original stuff too much. When we do shows, I might slip in half a dozen originals if, and most people probably wouldn't even know they're ours. But I like to keep them dancey and whatnot. And they've gone over pretty well. But I used to joke that, I want to play my own tunes because I probably suck at playing all the rest. Our originals, I guess, they're already mica-sized, so you can't play them incorrectly. From growing up in that era, of AC/DC and the Van Halens and all that, I was never a screamer-type singer, so it was, I always joke that I had many songs that I'd converted into my own way of doing them, but may not satisfy some hardcore rockers, so I always joke that the originals were kind of fun, that nobody could really criticize about how they were being done, and certainly when I look back at them, they're probably all an expression of that time of my life or something that was going on around me. People always love to say, hey, I think I know what that song's about, and I giggle because a person might say that about maybe what's going on now, and I say, well, it's funny, I wrote that song 30 years ago. So not likely is it about that, but it's funny again. Sometimes what's old becomes new again, and I certainly hope that's the case.
Yeah.
It's a tune I've been playing for quite a few years at the end of the night, especially practices, called Happiness is a State of Mind, or Happiness. Sure is a good thought with this crazy COVID going around. It's all state of mind. Why does it take me 6 whiskeys and 12 doobies to get there? I don't know why. As a wise man, I said, would you help me, please? Help me, man, the world has got me on my knees. You said you're all caught up in something you've had, and life's too short to waste it feeling sad. I'll tell you something, man, you need to know. said happiness. He said happiness. He said happiness is just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. He said happiness. He said happiness. That's just a state of mind. Just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. Good night, Lily Lake. Won't you stand up, get those hands up. Won't you shake it up, Lord, that's just what I need. Won't you stand up, get those hands up. Won't you shake it up, Lord, that's just what I need. Won't you stand up, get those hands up. Won't you shake it up, Lord, that's just what I need. Won't you stand up, get those hands up. Won't you shake it up, Lord, that's just what I need.